up next on Under the Radar Michigan, we head to Munising in the Upper Peninsula, where I'll show you a great way to see the pictured rocks up close and personal. Then, hang onto your couch as I explore Ann Arbor, where the food culture goes way beyond just getting a bite to eat. I'll also show you a classic place to get a haircut and take you to a museum where the kids can touch literally everything. Get ready, because we're going to explore the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan a great place to be. Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities. And by Danielle Carmanis Work It Out, a program that gives children the tools to make healthy choices. The Work It Out mission is to eradicate childhood obesity and promote health in mind, body, and spirit through a yoga-based approach that reduces anxiety and increases self-esteem. Information at dkwio.org. And by the Old Newsboys Goodfellow Fund of Detroit, a 95-year-old charity whose sole mission is to ensure that each holiday season there is no kitty without a Christmas. For more information, visit detroitgoodfellows.org. Also in part by the Food Bank Council of Michigan, Michigan's statewide food bank network committed to the alleviation of hunger in Michigan and in our nation. The Food Bank Council of Michigan gathers food and funds to help stock Michigan's food banks. I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Daldin, and this is Under the Radar Michigan. I just crossed over the Mackinac Bridge, which means right now I'm in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. You gotta come up here, it's awesome. I've tried to explain to people who haven't been to Michigan's Upper Peninsula that even though you're still technically in Michigan, it just feels like a whole different world. Wow. And I love it up here. Howdy, folks. Well, by now you've probably guessed we're in Munising in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. The drive up here was absolutely beautiful. Inside the car, however, I would not look in there. It's not pretty. Sir, stay away from that car. Yes, I mean you. It's not pretty in there. Munising is located right in the middle of Michigan's UP on the southern shores of Lake Superior. They call it the UP's best kept secret, and I found out why. Munising is surrounded by some of the most beautiful scenery on the planet, and it's filled with great people, family-owned businesses, restaurants, and plenty of shops that sell locally produced products. It's the kind of place where you feel at home right away. I had the pleasure of spending some quality time with Munising's chamber director, Shar Carberry.
What keeps you in Munising? Name 2 or 3 things that keep you in this community.
The natural beauty is what, when you can go out in the woods and walk on all kinds of different trails, it's never the same thing twice. Cross-country skiing, the water, just being able to walk out on pictured rocks or along the rock formation, looking at Lake Superior, it's just breathtaking.
What are some of the things that you're doing in Munising that are kind of special?
A couple years back, we decided that we would buy this bread oven for the community. It's a wood-fired bread oven. We brought it over here in a logging truck, and from that, we had all these people volunteer to help do a facade on it. Now, we fire it up every Tuesday when they have farmers market and the artisans market. We do it for events. We do it every Tuesday. Last year, we made $10,000, and every bit of our money that we make goes back into the community.
I'll say that's perfect, because you bring the oven down, it brings the community down for bread, and then the money raised goes back into the community. So that's.
Well, we've had the Girl Scouts, we've had the Boy Scouts go down there and make pizzas with us. We teach people how to use the bread oven, and it's just a real community grabber.
Do you feed Flatlanders too?
We feed everybody.
Okay, because I like bread. And the town really is fun. I mean, we rolled in last night and we had fun. Do we have fun, guys? Yeah, we had a lot of fun, so thanks for having us.
Thanks, Tom.
Munising is also one of those Michigan towns where a lot of cool new businesses are popping up.
Now, when you come up to Munising on vacation, and I know you will, if you're doing anything outside, boating, biking, picnicking, anything where you need to take food, You gotta check this place out.
The great thing about Picnic Cove is that you can get a home-cooked meal with all the trimmings to go, and it's picnic style. So if your crew eats a lot, like mine does, you can take really good food anywhere you go, and you're supporting the local economy, and that makes the food taste gooder. Now, we couldn't come up to Munising and not talk about one of the most beautiful and incredible wonders of the world, the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. It's over 40 miles of 200-foot sandstone cliffs, waterfalls, and pristine beaches that meet crystal clear blue-green water. The Pictured Rocks are one of Michigan's greatest treasures. I guarantee you won't see anything like this anywhere else in the world. So if you get a chance, it's absolutely worth the drive or the paddle to get up here to see them.
You know, if you really want to get up close and personal with both the Pictured Rocks and Grand Island, I really recommend a pontoon boat, especially if you've got a family. It's a way to spend the whole day exploring the area at your own pace. It's wonderful.
Sharon Seberg, along with her husband Jim, own Seberg Pontoon Rentals, and they've got everything you need to have a great day on the water.
A lot of people know that you can take an official boat tour of the Pictured Rocks, which is great. But what a lot of people don't know, what I didn't know, is that you can come to your place, get your own pontoon boat, and spend the entire day out there doing whatever you want to do. Tell me what that experience is like.
Couples, family, anybody. You can go out there and do the whole Pictured Rock shoreline. You can go all the way down to Spray Falls. There are so many beaches that you can stop at and swim or have a picnic. There's Miners Beach right by Miners Castle. There's a Miners River there. If you go on farther down the line, Chapel Beach is a beautiful beach.
That's what intrigues me, the fact that there's beaches, instead of just going by and some tour guide tells you about them, can you actually take the pontoon boat up onto the beach and spend some time there?
Yes, you can. All the pontoons have an anchor. Just put your anchor out when you get to the beach, have your picnic, go swimming. You can come back on and just go to a different beach, or you can go around Grand Island if you'd like. You can go into Murray's Bay, Trout Bay. There's picnic areas there if you want to have the table in a real picnic setting, or if you just want to be on the beach with a blanket.
I have to be honest with you, this is so nice. I could just bring a lunch and sit right here and stare at that bay, and I'd be happy all day. And this is absolutely beautiful.
Well, we tell everybody when you come down, just bring your cooler and your crew. We'll give you a map to let you know where different highlights, points are to see.
You know, all this talk has really put me in the mood for a boat ride. If you would you mind taking me out like once around the bay?
No problem. Do you mind if I take our dog and our grandson?
More the merrier. Bring
Come
them
on.
aboard.
Come on, Jess. Go for a ride.
Welcome aboard.
I gotta tell you, if you're looking for a really relaxing way to take in these spectacular views, I highly recommend stopping by the Sebergs. You won't be sorry. Boy, being on this boat kind of got me in the mood for some seafood, or lake food, I should say. And I think I know just the place to get some.
The Upper Peninsula is known for a lot of really, really good food. But we found a place where they make what's called whitefish sausage. I don't know, fish and sausage? I don't know. I'm gonna try it though. I'm an adventurer and I'm a danger seeker, troubleshooter. I'm gonna go in here and try it right now. We're at the fish house. Oh boy, fish sausage. I hope this works out okay. I got the fish sausage. Okay, so I'm gonna try it. Again, I don't know, fish and sausage together doesn't really seem to fit, but actually it's very good. Fishy and sausagey, all at the same time. I'm gonna go over here right now, excuse me. Oh.
I gotta tell you, we had a great time in Munising. And on our way out, me and the crew made our final stop at the Dog Patch. Now, if you're looking for a good time and some great, well, people food in Munising, the Dog Patch is a must. It was a great place for us to wrap up our visit.
You know, all the time you hear people say, my town's kind of like the Ann Arbor of Western Michigan, or my town's kind of like the Ann Arbor of Northern Michigan. Well, if you live in Ann Arbor, what do you say? I'll tell you what you say. You say, I live in a pretty cool town.
Ann Arbor is located in southeast Michigan, about 45 miles due east of downtown Detroit. We can all agree that Ann Arbor is one of the coolest cities in Michigan. It's full of innovation, great restaurants, shops, and who could forget the over 40,000 University of Michigan students? College towns are great places to live because of all the energy and ideas universities bring to the community.
It provides the diversity, the dynamics, so I love living here.
They're also great for the local economy. College kids need places to eat, work, stay, and play, and that adds up to a lot of forward motion for a city.
It's like a campus and a city in one. So you got your regular people, and then you got, your campus people too.
Ann Arbor is very comfortable. With its classic neighborhoods, it's no wonder it's consistently voted one of the best places to live in the entire U.S. And it's a very intellectual place where people are passionate about learning and independent thought.
And there's plenty of stuff going on all the time, and I love the atmosphere and how friendly everyone is, I guess.
And boy, do they love good food. There's no shortage of absolutely awesome restaurants, many of which have become almost a way of life for some people. Now here's a place that's been an institution in Ann Arbor for 32 years, since 1978. And it's not at all a part of the university. It's called Afternoon Delight, and even though it's called Afternoon Delight, I hear they've got some of the freshest and best breakfasts in Michigan. Whoa. Who's here to eat breakfast? No matter what the weather's like, every Saturday and Sunday morning, people stand in line, sometimes up to an hour and a half, just to have breakfast here. And this has been going on since 1978. I'm telling you, there must be something pretty good inside. What are you going to have to eat when you get inside?
Probably a muffin.
A muffin? I hear their muffins are pretty good. There are even people who have been coming here for so long that they're now bringing their kids and even their grandkids to eat here.
I used to come here when I was in college a couple decades ago, and now my daughter's applying to go to Michigan, so she always wants to stop at Afternoon Delight.
We live 3 hours from here, and I have to bring their corned beef hash home every time I come to Ann Arbor to bring home to my husband.
What totally amazed me about the whole phenomenon was how happy all these people were, even though they had been waiting out in the freezing cold. Again, something pretty awesome must be going on inside.
And it's just like a home place to go. And the food is excellent.
So I made my way in and found the man who started it all, Tom Hackett.
It just amazes me that people stand in line for an hour and a half here for the food.
Yeah.
You talk to them about the food, they absolutely rave. Weren't you the first restaurant in Ann Arbor really to offer like California fresh?
We were the only restaurant where you could get frozen yogurt or a bran muffin back in the early 80s and late 70s.
On any given day, you can find Tom and his partner Joanne Williams here personally making sure that everyone leaves with a smile.
Food's really good.
Right.
It's in Ann Arbor. It's a great place.
It's just very good. Matter of fact, I would say it's excellent.
Well, this place is like an institution. Everywhere I mention it around town, people, their faces light up. Everybody loves this place. Everybody loves Mr. Afternoon Delight, which is you. And everybody seems to love your muffins. Now, what Mr. Afternoon Delight doesn't realize is that I'm a bit of a muffin aficionado, as it were, especially blueberry muffins, so we'll see how his muffin really stacks up. Oh, hi, here's Tom.
There you are.
Hey, Tom.
Just happen to have one.
So that's an Afternoon Delight muffin
That's
that you're so famous for, that everybody all over town is talking about. This happens to be a very high-quality, good store-bought muffin.
Okay.
So I'll do a taste test.
All right.
I'll try my muffin first. This is. Moist. Flavorful. Blueberry. Let me try this one here.
Entirely different muffin.
Oh my. Is this your recipe?
Yes. It's
Oh my
our
God.
basic recipe.
Keep talking.
We developed years ago, and it's never changed. The only thing we do is we add different fruits to it.
What's the secret to your success? What do you really think?
Just being on top of the product, making sure it's the same all the time, where people, when they wait in line for a half hour or 45 minutes, that they get exactly what they want.
Well, you're doing something right, because when I talk to the people standing in line for an hour, they would stand in line for probably 3 hours to get into this place, so you're doing something right.
Let's face it, every Michigan city has its share of cool businesses, experiences, and characters. Well, where I went next, I found all three.
You know, when I need to get a haircut, the last place I go is a salon. And I have nothing against salons. It's just that, as you can tell, I've run out of options for a salon. So when I get my haircut, I like to go to an old-fashioned men's barbershop. And if this place is good enough for Bo, it's good enough for me. Jerry?
Yeah, Tom.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing today?
How are you?
Good, good.
I'm here to get what's left of my haircut.
That's awesome. I've been waiting for a live one.
Okay,
It looks like
I
you
don't know
qualify.
Well, I guess it's time to get my ears lowered.
So what brings you down to our neck of the woods?
Well, I'm here to see Ann Arbor, and I heard all about you and your shop and that you've been here for a couple of years.
A couple, well, like 37 maybe.
You gotta be good to stay in business that long.
Now, I understand some pretty famous people have gotten their haircut
Well, yeah, probably my most famous one would be Coach Schimbecker.
Really?
Yeah, I started cutting his hair back in 1969. Bo was a great guy. He was a gem. And Bo got off to basically a start like this. He didn't win all his games when he first got here. You know, they get time. You got to get adapted.
Right, just like your first few haircuts were probably pretty lousy, and then you got good at it.
Yeah, we get better. Yeah, well, you know, after 37 years, I got it figured out.
Thank God Jerry didn't cut too much. I don't have much to spare.
Do me a big favor. Do you have any thinning shears?
Thinning shears?
Yeah, because
you know,
because my hair isn't really that thin.
no, you know what your hair really is?
No.
It's really wavy.
Right.
Yeah, it's waving goodbye.
Oh. Well, actually, I use thinning shears because chicks dig this look.
When you first come in, you're not sure if you're in a sports bar, a men's club, or a barber shop.
Well, when I came down here from the UP, I decorated it like a stagecoach stop. You know, I was a John Wayne guy. You know, coming out of the UP, I didn't know anything about football or baseball. All I did was hunt and fish.
Right.
All right. So then all of a sudden I got coaching for, and I started getting all the coaches up here for their haircuts. So they kind of thought this was their spot. So then I started hanging pictures over the period of years. You know, I didn't tell them the John Wayne story. And it just kind of mushroomed after 37 years. I mean, I've taken things down, put more stuff up, taken things down, put more stuff
Well,
up.
there's no room to put anything else up.
I mean, it's, yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Jerry is the real deal.
See, not everybody gets this
Oh, you see,
in every barbershop. Only we're unique when it comes to this.
This is why I don't go to a salon. This is why you go to a real men's barber shop.
That's right.
So, if you love sports, want to hear some great stories, get a good haircut, and learn all about Ann Arbor, Coachin' 4 is a must-stop.
This is the best haircut I ever had.
Oh, thank you. I've heard that before.
How many times, I'll bet?
30 times a day, maybe.
Pleasure to meet you, Jerry. Thanks
Hey.
for doing what you could with what you had to work with.
Hey, anytime. I'm always here. I'm always here.
I had heard of Zingerman's Deli, and I had even heard of the guy who started it, Ari Weinsweig. But until I actually met Ari, I had no idea what a true food guru he was. Not only is Ari a pioneer in what he calls real food, his love of Ann Arbor and the passion for what he is doing is the real reason for his great success. Ari has created a food philosophy that's become almost a way of life for a lot of people.
For people who've never been to Zingerman's before, how would you describe what Zingerman's is?
Well, usually I make other people describe it because I hate describing it because it's hard to really convey.
It's good food, that's what it is.
Just for context, when Paul and I opened the deli in '82, it was just this space we're standing in right now. So the wall was just up there where the bread is. So it was just 5 tables in here, me and Paul and 2 employees. So that said, you know, we now have this whole community of businesses here in Ann Arbor. So the deli's, you know, about a quarter of what we do, but we've got the Roadhouse, it's sit-down regional American food, the Bakehouse, so we're, you know, making traditional pastries, traditional breads, the creamery, which I mentioned, the cream cheese, but we do gelato and all that, the candy bars, coffee roasting, mail order, we ship all over, and then Zing Train, we have a little training business, and people come from all over the world to do our training seminars on business and leadership and stuff. So today we got about 500 employees. We started with 2.
At least Ari's doing his part to keep unemployment low in Michigan.
You know, all our food is traditional food, and we go for full flavor. And when you go for traditional stuff, generally, although I'm like looking at Hungarian bacon and guanciale, where you might get into some difficult pronunciations, but only because it's another language.
How do you say let's eat in Hungarian?
So this is the oil section, right? This is all
oils and vinegars, and over here we got spices and all sorts of other great stuff.
I had no idea that there were this many oils and vinegars.
As well as breads, meats, cheeses, you get the idea.
You have the nicest people here.
Well,
That's one of the reasons I love coming here, because you're treated like family when you come in. And
hopefully not a dysfunctional.
Well, no, not like my family, but like anyway.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
But
the service at Zingerman's is outstanding.
Look, I mean, people work hard to make a living, you know,
Right.
and the quality level of food when you're working at a traditional level like this, handmade with great ingredients, is not going to be cheap.
Right, but it's worth the price for two reasons. One, if it's Michigan made, it's totally worth the price. One. Number two is, if it's better, it's just better food.
Yeah,
it's real food.
Yeah. Real food for real people.
Somebody as talented as you are could go anywhere in the world, anywhere in the United States. What keeps you in Michigan?
I love Ann Arbor. I mean, we got a great town, and Paul and I will both tell you the same thing. I mean, we spent 29 years creating a place where we love going to work.
Now that I've been here, tasted the foods, and met the people, I totally get it. Like I said, if you've never been to Zingerman's before, once you go here, you'll never not go here again.
You know how when you go out and you take the kids with you, you spend half your time going, don't touch that. Stop touching that. You're going to break that. Don't touch that. Well, here's a place in Ann Arbor you could take your kids where not only will they learn something, but they can touch everything.
The Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum is something you and your kids have to put your hands on to really appreciate. It's a place where all the basic principles of science come to life in hands-on exhibits you can see, touch, and learn from. Now, it's been proven that the best way to learn is to do. Well, here, there's so much to do, it's amazing. My guide for the day was Executive Director Mel Drum, and his passion for this place was very contagious.
Mel, I came here today for two reasons. One, this is an incredible place I think everybody in Michigan should know about. And two, I love science. But unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. I'm not very good at it, so I thought maybe with your help you could explain about this place and how it works.
Well, this is an absolutely wonderful place to discover science and the world around you. We have about 250 exhibits ranging from science to culture to engineering, anything you can imagine.
And it's all hands-on.
And it's all hands-on. As the name states, Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum, we want people to touch all the exhibits, to be involved in every single thing we have.
Let the tour begin.
Tom, I wanted to show you our newest exhibit. It's called Great Lakes Discovery.
This is cool.
Designed in conjunction with NOAA and the Great Lakes Environmental Research Laboratory, this is an exploration of the Great Lakes watershed, looking at the idea of shipwrecks, looking at the whole commerce and ecology of the Great Lakes region. It'll be here for about 6 months. The museum has 4 full floors of exhibits. This is the Legacy Gallery, and it's full of all kinds of unusual things about how the world works. For example, the internet. So imagine if you wanted to send data. You think about everything being digital, a 1 or a 0, in our case, black and white balls. You put them into the machine, close the door, send it through the entire network, and it'll end up being rebuilt down
here
on this end.
Oh my gosh, Mel, it worked. That's the word you sent.
Man, Mel loves this place, and who could blame him?
It's just fantastic being able to work in a place where everyone on the team is committed to the idea of inspiring people to see the world around them.
If you have kids or you're in touch with your inner kid like me, this place is a blast. There's so much to do, see, and learn at the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum that you and your kids could literally spend the entire day here. And the nice thing is, when you're done, your kids will sleep well and dream smart.
Tom?
I tried to build something, Mel. It didn't work out very well.
Ann Arbor is one of those cities I thought I knew a lot about, but what I didn't know is how much I don't know. But now that I know how much I don't know, I know one thing for sure, I know I'll be back.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Now if you've got a computer and you want to explore all the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan a great place to be, go to utrmichigan.com or go to our Facebook page at Under the Radar Michigan. There you can tell us cool places to go, talk to other... Hold on a second. Hello? You can't find the Facebook page or the website? Do me a favor, check to see if your computer's turned on. There you go. Happy to help. Okay, love you too, Mom. Bye.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities. And by Danielle Carmanis Work It Out, a program that gives children the tools to make healthy choices. The Work It Out mission is to eradicate childhood obesity and promote health in mind, body, and spirit through a yoga-based approach that reduces anxiety and increases self-esteem. Information at dkwio.org. And by the Old Newsboys Goodfellow Fund of Detroit, a 95-year-old charity whose sole mission is to ensure that each holiday season there is no kitty without a Christmas. For more information, visit DetroitGoodfellows.org. Also in part by the Food Bank Council of Michigan, Michigan's statewide food bank network committed to the alleviation of hunger in Michigan and in our nation. The Food Bank Council of Michigan gathers food and funds to help stock Michigan's food banks. Closed captioning for Under the Radar Michigan is made possible by Shamrock Travel in downtown Rochester. Shamrock Travel providing complete travel services right here in Michigan for over 20 years.